It's happening. Like the Bible said, the Holy Scriptures foretold the signs of the last days prophecies. Now they're happening. There's more news, prophecy news around the signs of the last days prophecies. Now we know this. After the first ever direct attack by Iran on Israel, where they launched 20 Iranian missiles from Syria just after midnight against the Jewish state toward the Golan Heights, that when the Iranian missile struck, Israel's Iron Dome anti-missile system intercepted several of the Iranian missiles, while the other Iranian missiles fell harmlessly to the ground inside Syria. Not even one Iranian rocket landed in the state of Israel, and no one was hurt and nothing was damaged. Again, God protected Israel. Here is a report of the action by PBS.
Israel and Iran are staring each other down tonight across the expanse of Syria. Long simmering hostility flared to life last night as the Israelis blasted Iranian fighters in Syria with their largest airstrike since the 1973 war. Israel says the Iranians started it with a rocket barrage. Special correspondent Jane Ferguson reports from Jerusalem.
The bright dots and streaks in the sky, as shown in Syrian night vision and television video, tell the story of an overnight Mideast confrontation. The pictures purportedly show Israeli airstrikes against Iranian military targets. Damascus also claims they show Syrian air defenses intercepting those Israeli missiles. A spokesman for the Israeli Defense Forces said today they struck dozens of Iranian targets, not just around Damascus, but throughout the southern part of Syria. The Israeli military said the overnight operation was a response to rockets that they say Iranian forces fired first at Israeli military positions in the Golan Heights. The Israelis said most of the Iranian rockets either missed their mark or were intercepted. Israel's Defense Minister Liberman lauded his country's operation and put Iran on notice.
We, of course, struck almost all the Iranian infrastructure in Syria, and they need to remember this arrogance of theirs. If we get rain, they'll get a flood. I hope that we ended this chapter and that everyone understood.
So, Israel launched a massive counterattack, with it reported that Israeli warplanes and missiles hit about 70 Iranian military targets in Syria and killed at least 23 fighters, including Syrian regime troops and other allied forces. It's reported that 20 Israeli F-15 and F-16 aircraft were used in the attack, which released around 60 air-to-ground missiles at various targets across Syria, and with Israel also firing more than 10 tactical ground-to-ground missiles. Targets of the Israeli counterattack against the Iranians included the main Iranian Revolutionary Guards base near Damascus, also military positions of Hezbollah terrorist fighters, and Syrian air bases used by Iran to launch drone and missile attacks against Israel. In all, the Israeli army said it carried out approximately 50 retaliatory raids against Iranian Revolutionary Guard targets. An Israeli military spokesman said the overnight exchange was the largest ever direct clash between the Iranian and Israeli militaries, and appeared to be the largest exchange involving Israel and Syria since the 1973 Yom Kippur War, but no Israeli aircraft were hit. Israel's Defense Minister Liberman said that the IDF had destroyed nearly all of Iran's military infrastructure sites in Syria in the overnight attack in response to the rocket barrage from Iran on Israel's north. And they warned Tehran that attacks on Israeli territory will be met with the strongest possible force. Liberman said the Iranians tried to attack the sovereign territory of Israel. And Liberman went on to say, if we get rain, you will get a flood. He warned Iran. So not one Iranian rocket landed in the state of Israel. Nobody was hurt and nothing was damaged. But Israel damaged nearly all of the Iranian infrastructure in Syria. But this strong counterattack by Israel will not stop Iran. For they have now what they have long desired, in establishing a land bridge but from Iran to the Mediterranean via Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. And along with that, they have established an Iranian military foothold at the borders of Israel. And no matter the pain or the cost, Iran will not let go of it. And Iran is in their prophesied position in the last days prophecies. For we know Iran in the last days will be at the northern border of Israel, as foretold by the last days prophecies of Ezekiel 38, which foretells that Persia, or modern-day Iran, will be located there, and that in time they and their allies will plan a massive surprise attack on Israel. For the prophecy says that Persia and its allies will come up like a storm against the mountains of Israel. But the prophecy also says that when they come up against God's people, Israel, that he will again protect them. And now this first ever direct attack attempt by Iran, which failed against Israel at its northern borders, which Israel counterattacked like a flood against Iran and Syria, is yet again signs of the truth of the holy prophecies, and are signs that are pointing to the coming fulfillment of the last days prophecies concerning Israel and Iran. For the prophecies say that Iran will move into place at Israel's northern border against Israel, but that God will protect Israel from destruction. Now Iran and Israel are in their prophetic roles and position in the Middle East, with events there moving toward the fulfillment of last days prophecies, which the prophecies say will lead up to the return of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who the prophecies also teach is the only true Prince of Peace and coming King of earth, who will bring all, the Muslim, the Jew, the religious, and the unbelievers together in peace on the earth, with earth being ruled over by the reign of Jesus Christ and his immortals, who have now been biblically born again into the kingdom of God through faith in Jesus Christ, who will be translated to immortality when Jesus Christ comes into the clouds above the earth to call and rapture his believers up to him in the clouds, where they then go with Jesus Christ to a great celebration in heaven. Turn to Jesus Christ now and believe on him. Whether you're Muslim, you're Jew, you're religious, or just a sinful unbeliever, turn to Jesus Christ now and believe on him and be born again into the kingdom of God, as Jesus and his apostles said, so that you, as Jesus said, may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass in the great tribulation of earth, and that you can stand in peace with Jesus Christ on the earth.